this
I
show.
will tell you what they're going to ask about next. They're going to ask about next is where is that 2050 Motors guy? Because
I want one of those.
I want one of those too. And our good friend Stretch Fowler, the CEO.
No.
The executive director and president of. See, that's why I don't have his mic on yet.
No.
See, because I control everything.
You Sally World.
Put this: the cheese,
Big cheese.
the big cheese. at
BMOC.
2050 is look at him.
I know.
Wouldn't if you went to Central Casting and
Yes.
said I need a boss
Yeah.
of a major company, this is who they would hire. Have you done any acting? Stretch?
It's between you and Robert Wagner. We're
It really
torn.
is. You
Who's
could
gonna
be a famous actor in that.
Absolutely.
2050 Motors, of course, is a publicly traded company. ETFM is their stock symbol. 2050motors.com, the home of the carbon fiber EV, electric vehicle, that is so, well, I will tell you, it is on the front edge of the envelope that no other car company has. So, Stretch, before we start, we've got probably 6 new cities that have never seen this show before that we just picked up our show.
Recap.
Start from scratch and recap what 2050
Really?
Motors is.
Recap. Okay. You
Give
know,
me a full
your
recap.
elevator speech, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, basically, fellas, the company started about 3.5 years ago. After 8 years in China, basically meeting the Dongfeng Motors, the largest automotive builder there. They build 4 or 5 million cars a year, similar to General Motors.
Sure.
They wanted to start a division of electric vehicles.
Okay.
So they came along with that idea. They brought in their staff, and they met us because we are the experts here of our 20-year experience in electric vehicles, going back to Burbank Airport.
Sure.
And so what happened is that basically we set up a company, 2050 Motors, public company, and put together exclusive for the USA market for these cars.
Right.
Today I have exciting news because I'm bringing you the 2 models of the.
Well, we'll get to that.
which I'll
So
bring.
let's go back and talk about the car itself.
I've been in them both.
Because
the Ego and the Chinese bird.
Ibis, the Ibis.
Knew it.
That's right.
the Chinese
That's
bird,
right.
the Ibis. And do we? By the way, I'd love to show this footage. Can you guys grab the footage of Russ talking to Stretch in the back, and you'll find that. Let me know when it's ready.
Well, we demonstrated
because
the,
we demonstrated the cars, but talk about the difference between a regular EV and what you guys have going.
The most important thing is the material the car is built of,
Yeah.
Sully. Okay, the material is called carbon fiber.
Right.
Airplanes, I mean, Sully, golf clubs.
Golf
I mean,
clubs.
we'll talk about carbon fiber is
Right.
the miracle,
Right.
is the lightweight, 5 times stronger than steel,
Sure.
3 times lighter.
I want to show on the website, if you go to 2050motors.com, there's a crash test that goes on that they did in China. Guys, if you can pull it up for me, and this is a slow motion crash test that they did at 35 miles an hour. So to talk about the thing made out of carbon fiber, this will show you, if you, as you watch this on the screen here, it'll show you what happens when you have a car that goes 35 miles an hour and goes into a brick wall.
That's
you
right.
see what happens. I mean, the car typically in that type of a crash, which you've seen 100 times over, what you see is that car coming in there and the car is completely destroyed and crumpled. Guys, do we have that up? We can take a look at that. The 2050motors.com has the video up there of the crash test, and this is I think probably the most astounding thing, other than the fact that the battery, the whole car weighs less than a Tesla battery. Guys, do we have that up?
and that's those new batteries too.
Yeah. We want to talk. In fact, while they were looking for that, tell us about the battery. Battery's different than the regular batteries.
Well,
that we're seeing.
basically, the lithium-ion batteries are
Right.
the state of the art. Okay, so what we're bringing in is the technology that's going to add graphene to that. Graphene again is going to be the next plastics. Remember the movie?
Yeah,
with
the
your
Gradui.
Okay, so we're talking about graphene now that will be intermixed here, increasing the range. Okay, which is big. That's everything.
Everything is about how long I can
How
go.
far
and
you
How
can
long
go.
can I
Right.
go without a charge?
Look at this video here of the crash tester. This is amazing stuff. I'll let you describe this, Stretch.
Yes. So
I
basically,
volunteered to drive, by the
all
way.
carbon fiber. Watch the crash dummy and watch the
Look at the back of the car leave the ground.
leaving the ground, come back down.
But look at the car. The car is unscathed.
Where's the
Exactly
crumple
right.
zone?
There is no crumple zone.
Yeah.
Play that one more time
It's-
for us.
it's
real
around
quick
the
before we
front
start.
headlight.
We're going to show you the photo after this. I want to show you this one more time so you can
Right.
see it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to show you the picture of the car afterwards. And what you're going to see is the front end has basically kept its shape 100%. I mean, there's some
Absolutely
chipped paint
right.
on it, but other than that, look at that. No, see, the crumpled and it popped back into shape. You see that?
Now coming to the U.S.
There it is. So look at the front of the car. Now,
Oh, wow.
what you see there, that's just paint that's fallen off of it.
Yeah.
You pop that thing back and it's all done. There's nothing broken about it. It's amazing. All right. So, and we're gonna keep Stretch over all the way to the top of the show because I want to talk about the new stuff. Talk about how strong this is. We have a demo tape with Joe, your chief engineer, who's been on our program.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Smacking your carbon fiber Ego. Now, that small car,
Wow.
the model of that car is
That's
called the
Eagle. That's
Ego.
correct.
Oh,
That's
good.
right. 100% carbon fiber body, Sully.
He is hitting the carbon fiber Ego with the mallet, and then he hits the body of an F350. That's a Ford F350 heavy-duty truck, and you can see that. Guys, can we see that video? Because
And the best part about this video, after he hits the truck, the owner comes out right away and says, "What the
this is
hell
what
are you guys doing?" Yeah.
now look at here's Joe smacking.
Oh, there's the truck.
You've seen Joe.
Joe.
Joe's smacking the.
He's happy to do this too.
Look at those guns. You can't go to church, by the way. They don't allow. I don't want
No
guns. in
gun
church.
show.
Look at the gun show.
Now here he
Look at this.
is, by the window, on the door.
Look at that. So he hits an F350 and it dents, and he heats the crap out of the Ego.
Right there in the sweet spot, too, in the
Right.
side panel, right? So
And you could fall into a door at that area and dent it. I have.
that's right.
With your
That's
head.
right.
What do you, by the way, what do your Chinese partners think when they see this video? Or they just sent you a new car?
Crazy Joe's at it again. He's out swinging the mallet in the parking
Oh my
lot.
gosh. The what's interesting? Can we talk about the latest when we come back from the break?
Yeah.
Before we get there, you have a really great story about how Toyota was started, and I think it's really important that we talk about that. Because, and by the way, 2050motors.com, they are publicly traded. ETFM is their stock symbol. It's interesting, though, I want to talk about this because Toyota didn't start out as a car manufacturer here in the States.
Exactly
and
right,
they're a
Sally.
huge car company in the U.S.
You think?
You're basically using a very similar model. Talk about that a little bit with ETFM.
Okay, so basically the idea was how do you get to the U.S. market? So Toyota was told, why don't you bring your parts in and have them assembled here?
So in other words, ship the parts over, not the full cars.
Ship the components, parts, exactly right. Ship them here, and then you can have U.S. labor because, believe it or not, it only takes about 30 hours per car to put a car together, fellas. 30 hours
Yeah.
of man labor.
I know a couple guys that can take one apart in 2 hours. But I'm just saying, don't park it out front. You know, you got a couple of wheels, just that's all you got left. No, so 30 hours.
The idea was
Yours has to
assembled-
be less time, though, is what I'm thinking.
of course, assembled in America
Yeah.
was the guiding light. So once you had the combo,
Yeah.
okay, then we touched the car first. We put it together. We Americans put it together.
Yep.
Toyota now is history. Look, huge.
Right.
Let's go back to the carbon fiber part of this thing because you've got two pretty interesting components. Well, there's actually three. It's the first Chinese car company to create a carbon fiber electric vehicle. By the way, that'll be selling in the U.S. Has there ever been a Chinese car sold in the U.S.? This is the first one.
Not here.
Number
Not
one.
here.
Number two, you've got the carbon fiber element, which you see how strong and how light it is.
That's
You've got
right.
the battery element to it, which is a next-gen battery. The
Yeah.
whole thing together is lighter than, did you say, one of the Tesla battery packs?
The actual Ego itself that Sully set in.
The one, I mean, the Russ said it, and the white car that he was beating the crap out of.
Red to white, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened there is that basically the battery pack of a Tesla, our car with the battery pack in it weighs as much as just the battery
Just
pack
the
of
battery
Tesla.
pack, yeah.
So
Okay, so
weight-
talk to us about. I don't think we ever talked to this before, and I know people I'm gonna get emails about this because I always get emails on you when you come in. How fast does this thing go?
basically your Eagles can 70, 80 miles an hour. No problem. 70
And
miles
it's
an hour.
silent.
And
Yeah.
have the same acceleration start as a normal car. 0 to 60, 6 to 8 seconds, big deal.
The interesting part, though, is that
Yeah, where are you going?
Where are you
what
gonna
is the first thing? Honestly, I just thought about this. What is the first thing you think about when you see one of those little smart cars? I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna
if I
die.
hit a bus.
I'm gonna die. Honestly.
And how do I get a family of six
by the
out
way,
to dinner?
this is bigger than but what I'm talking about is the kind of the efficiency model in cars is where
Right.
this is going. The Ego takes that to the next generation. The problem is that with what you just saw there, and show that video of Joe again banging on that F350. I want to see that thing again, because yeah, this is Joe LaStella. He's the chief engineer. Just show the Ford truck though. See what that same thing does on a Ford pickup. Boom! Look at this. Yeah.
Oops.
Boom. Watch. There's a dent.
Oh, Joe.
And then the owner comes out afterwards. And then he runs inside and starts hitting on the white car too. There he goes. I have to say, suddenly safety isn't even an issue anymore.
No.
And that's, so it's not just performance, and on a consumer basis, because we've been talking about the business of this thing ever since we've had Stretch on the air, but the performance basis of this thing is great with a safety factor.
Absolutely.
So hang on a second. So after the break, what we're going to do is we've got some pictures of the new Italian-styled Ego sedan. It looks much better. I shouldn't say. Well, this thing looks pretty cool. It looks cooler, and they have been notified. They've notified the $100 million Oxen plant. We're talking about the aluminum molds that are coming out. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about what it's going to take to get them DOT friendly, because.
And then I want to talk about our little business endeavor.
What is it?
Clavo Cars down in Baja, California.
Clavo Cars.
Clavo Cars. I'll be in Cabo San Lucas and Cabo San Jose.
What's Clavo Car?
I want to rent these out when you go on vacation. When you go down to, because that's all you need.
That was my idea 2 weeks ago on the show.
Yeah.
Stand by. Biz Brew, U2 America. U2 America. Here's Joe.
You can stop, Joe.
I'm sick and tired of an 8 and 10 wreck.
Stretch Fowler's here. Stretch Fowler with 2050 Motors, stock symbol ETFM, talking about the carbon fiber EV manufactured in Mexico, assembled in the manufactured in China, assembled in the U.S. And you have a $100 million facility that they put together in China. Before we get to that, speaking of money though, I saw a press release last week that said you guys raised a whole bunch of money. Talk to us about that.
Well, basically, as the Toyota story that you mentioned earlier to tell you about, it's the same concept we have. Now we have the plant that can be duplicated here without all the heavy equipment, set up for less than $5 million, at a location, bring in the parts and assemble them.
Yeah.
So that's the game plan, and we have a $10 million commitment now. They call an equity purchase plan to break down in increments monies that way as we need it to build the assembly plant, which of course will start maybe about a year from now.
So we've got $10 million in new money into the company on a private basis, and then of course a lot of new things happening for you guys as a company. So let's talk about that, because we've got some pictures here.
Convertible. Is there a convertible? I love convertibles. Or as they call them in Seattle, buckets.
Is that what they call them, buckets?
Yeah, because it rains a lot and
Really?
you get like a week, you can put the top down.
So here's my question. I mean, the original, the Ego and the Ibis were both designed by Italian designers in the first place, right?
That's
so
right.
this is a version 2.0? Is that what we're talking about?
This is a version 2 because the Ego is really a European car.
Right,
Sully.
sure.
You pointed out the small streets in Europe, all that. That's the Ego, just zip through there.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see a copy of a sedan and a copy of an SUV that the same chassis, same size, so nothing changes.
Of the Ego?
All aluminum alloy chassis stays the same.
Wow, look at that thing.
There it is, right there.
I want one now.
Wow. Look at that. That's going to be the four-door.
Now the aluminum alloy chassis still is going to have the carbon fiber body.
And that's right there. You're looking at 100% carbon fiber right there. Exactly right.
It goes front and backwards too, Russ.
That's weird.
Just
Either way.
Flip the thing around.
Yep.
Now look, and you have trunk room. You'll have everything set up there. Beautiful.
That's pretty cool looking.
Now this is the car that's going to take, because this is American car, designed for the American public.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the next generation.
They're making the molds for that now, Sully.
Okay.
Right now.
Right this side.
And at the plant there in China.
Yeah.
Right now, we need the final. Our partners need the final permit from the government, and all the engineers now are checking the plant out. They're going to make about 500 Egos, as you saw them out here. They're going to make 500 of those. Let's shut that down, and then come right back in and start with the molds that were already being built to make the.
Right. So the guy in China that's in charge, his name is Wei They?
No.
I'm sorry, I missed that. It's not it? Okay.
Hey, I know the emails that we're going to have here and that we're already getting in are asking about, so when do I get one? When can I buy one? What's the price point? Where they're going to be sold? We have a few more minutes in the program here. Why don't we spend some time talking about that? First of all, geographically speaking, you're going to start out here in the Southwest. By the way, I know if you're just new to the program, we're based in San Diego. We broadcast across the country. You're talking about the southwest corner of the states, for sure?
Our headquarters are in Las Vegas.
Right.
A captive 2 million people.
Sure.
There's your commuter car. That's going to be the ideal commuter car.
Right.
150, 200 mile range.
Sure.
No problem.
Sure.
No problem.
Sure.
Okay. The bigger SUV, of course, will have the better battery pack, 300-400 mile range. So that you can leave Vegas.
Holy crap! Look at the
that.
size of that thing.
There you
Now
go.
there's your van. There's your van.
That's
right
the, and
there,
that's and
fellas.
that's the new van coming out. It looks like that's a cross between an Ego, a smart car, and a Humvee.
And a Moon
It's a sexy
Rover.
looking car.
Huh?
And a Moon Rover.
Yeah.
It is.
This can go from a UPS service van to a family van to all types.
So the big question is when and what's the price point on it?
Okay, so now.
Yeah, I like that one.
Now we're going to go to China next month, and we'll have all that information for you.
Okay.
But basically, we'll have a time frame. I would say within 7 months, 8 months, they'll get their permit to export. They'll start making the new models.
Right.
And I would say sometime next year.
Okay, so sometime next year, but here's the thing, though. We have to go through the Department of Transportation, right? The DOT for safety, right? How tough
Exactly.
is that? Is that basically the next thing you have to do?
With the work already done, the DOT has a big catalog. Okay.
Right, sure.
We're there. We're there. Why? Because all these tests, you've already seen that car,
right.
what it's done, Sully. So
Yeah.
basically, what's going to happen is that we'll do a rollover.
Okay.
Big deal. No
That's it.
problem.
That's
and
it.
A rollover like
A rollover, actual rollover.
Jay Leno.
Yeah. Or Bruce Jenner on the 101.
Oh,
several other-
whoever, right?
Or
whoever.
the dude from what was that?
Bruce Jenner rollover story. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, there is.
Wow.
So for you, is
so
this
cool.
going faster than you anticipated? Because when we first had you on the air, it was a pretty exciting story. But they had a lot of stuff happen with you guys in the last 90 days.
Exactly right. The last 6
I'm
months.
gonna say.
Of course, it
I'm saying
started-
it's because of us.
I think it is.
I think it's because of you and I.
That interview
Look at
outside,
this. We
right there.
turned the corner for this company.
But it started 20 plus years ago with all of the other stuff. And
Of
you guys,
course,
you're an overnight
absolutely.
success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
20 years to be an overnight success.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
The whole EV story. Electric cars should have been here in 1998.
Yeah.
But the mandate was in place, but the governor vetoed it.
Huh.
1998, fellas, and we were the only car west of Mississippi car company making electric cars.
That's got to be frustrating.
Converting Geo Metros, converting F-150s.
Yeah.
No kidding. Hey, all told, when this is in full production, let's just fast forward. And I know that you can't make guarantees on stuff like this, but 5 years down the road, how many models do you think you're going to have?
First of all, yeah, models and numbers. Models and numbers, okay? I would say 4 models.
Okay,
Four
and
basic
that's the
models.
van that we saw.
The van.
That's
The
right.
Ibis, which is the big car.
Ibis will be a Class C first, like a Mercedes class.
Show the website, guys. That's that black
Wow.
car that you can
That's
see.
the
Then
black
we have
one.
the red Ego.
And the red Eagle.
The little guy.
Whatever color. That's right.
The workhorse.
There's the red Ego, and then the next slide coming up. There's the Ibis.
There's the Ibis there.
and then you
Just
saw the
imagine
van. What's
size
what's
down.
the fourth one?
The fourth one would be his convertible.
Oh.
Thank you.
The bucket.
Yes.
The Rusty bucket.
Oh, the rusty bucket.
Available in 2 colors.
There's a hole.
Get
there,
any color
Henry.
you want,
Yeah.
as long as it's rust.
I'm telling you, man, these are going to
Stretch,
take off.
thank you so much for
Sure,
coming.
my
Stretch
pleasure.
Fowler,
Thank you.
one of our favorite guests here on the program, and of course, 2050 Motors. ETFM is our stock symbol. Go to 2050motors.com, and all the video that we're showing you,
Yeah.
I'll put up on our website. You go to jumptvstudios.com. They'll have it up on their videos, or up their website shortly, and of course, U2 America will have it on their site.
What I like is instead of a fuel gauge, what you do is you just lick this little metal pad to see if it's charged.
To see if it's
Oh,
charged.
jeez, I'm ready to go.
Just pop the hood open, and you just lick it, and that's it.